Loading, and it says, this house is bitchin'.
No, this house is, bitchin'.
Before this video starts, if you guys are attending MCM London Comic Con this weekend, please be sure to say hi if you do see me, as I'll be there all weekend long. And also, just another announcement, I published my first ever blog article for a company named Monogram, of which Marvel asked me to do a post on their exclusive merchandise that will be available at MCM London Comic Con, so check out the blog. It would be super appreciated if you did share it around and read the blog for yourself, and links will be in the description below to it, and within the article I tell you which booth they're going to be at. So if you are attending MCM London Comic Con, you can check them out and buy their exclusive merch because it's really cool. So hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 4, and today we're going to be going over a theory on something that came to mind during last night's episode of The Flash. If you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any DC TV videos this year. So the theory came to mind as in episode 1 when Barry returned from the Speed Force, he said a load of stuff and a lot of it was actually Easter eggs, so things to do with the trial of the Flash, the twins that Barry and Iris go on to have in the comics, and a few other things that are big Easter eggs. I've made past videos on that, but today's theory is kind of separate to that. But when Cisco decoded Barry's message, he said this house is bitchin', and we're supposing that they didn't tell Joe at all by the way that they realized how they failed, and Cisco actually walks away in disappointment. They all look really disappointed, so I highly doubt that they told Joe about this. And then within last night's episode, Joe said this house is bitchin' when the plumber said this house, and then Joe finished off his sentence saying bitchin'. So this leads me to my main theory. If Barry's Speed Force symbols did actually mean something and that Cisco actually worked out he was writing properly, but in like a Speed Force code language, whilst he was in the Speed Force he could have been experiencing the past, present and future all at once, gaining ultimate knowledge, and when he came out of the Speed Force he still had all of that knowledge and was writing it down how he thought he could do so, so that was in the form of the symbols. So Team Flash just actually dismissed it after that, so that was only Cisco, Caitlin and Iris who actually knew about it, and they thought it meant nothing. So with Joe saying this house is bitchin', and it's actually the same thing as Barry's message actually made out to say, so I feel like with what Grant Gustin said back at Comic Con this year, he said Barry would be living his life out infinity times over whilst being in the Speed Force is actually correct, as we can infer that he knows what's going to happen in the future because that's a future thing that was said, and that message was said before Joe actually said that. So right now he doesn't have any of that information inside his head, as since he's got out of his trance he has been a totally different person and he hasn't retained all of that, and he obviously isn't much smarter as you can see, and apart from getting faster, that's the only benefit that he got, and obviously his mind has been cleansed. So however I believe, and this is all theories guys, that somewhere within him he has all of this information hiding and that is ready to be used, but as of now it is hidden. But anyway guys, that has been it for this video. So do you guys agree with this theory that Barry has all of this information within him? He can find out what happens in the future, what happens in the past, what happens in the present. He can know anything really if he finds out and unlocks this information that's within him, because I do believe that whilst his time in the Speed Force was very painful to others around him, I think it's very beneficial to him and his actual storyline. So if they do go down this line, I think it'll be very good, because we didn't get too much to do with the Speed Force after he got out, and I think going back to that would be a great idea. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
It doesn't make you strong.